Hello and welcome to episode 162 of Naija's Geeking Out, your favorite comic book podcast with the Naija twist. Thank you for joining us again today. Today again, you've got three people on the podcast because one of us flaked. So as always, I am Cakes. Thanks for joining. Up next, we've got Tunde. Tunde, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to be back here again today to talk about comics. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
All right, cool. That one, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. It's nice to hear to his voice. I thought he'd been lost in the, going back to Nigeria, and he's just got lost.
I heard you guys last week insulting me anyhow. It's all good. I have so much joy in my heart, and I forgive you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're now officially what do you call it? A sun chaser. You've left one place because it's winter to go to a hot place.
You
It's
come
only
back
rich.
now.
It's only rich people that can do that.
Life
Exactly.
is too
Let's go
life
to
life is
go on. Life is what?
life is too short.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, let's go to the
Life is too
African
short. Yeah.
Saint Tropez.
Yeah,
You
but
went to chill in
I
there.
I actually think this is privilege. This is your privilege showing. There's people who live in Alaska who have no choice. You know,
Exactly.
who can't purchase.
Well, it's like, nah, not this. I'm going to Niger. Anyway. Yes. So this week, we have got comic books. We've got some casting news again, and we've got a review of a comic book and a movie. So right, let's jump right in with the casting news. This week, a few days ago, we heard that Sean Gunn has been cast to feature in the DCU, the new
Yep.
DCU. But we already knew that he was going to be Weasel. He was going to be GI robots in Creature Commandos. So he was already voicing two characters in that animated series. But now we've heard that he's going to be in the live action as well.
Yep.
Yes. So his brother has. I don't even know if it was James Gunn who announced it or somebody else picked it up, but it's been announced that he's going to be Maxwell Lord.
Yep.
Now we've seen Maxwell Lord before, haven't we?
Indeed, we have
Hmm.
played by.
We have not.
Pedro Pascal.
Yes, thank you, Pedro Pascal in Wonder Woman.
That movie was never released,
Yes.
unfortunately.
We have not.
IMDb says otherwise. But yes, so we've seen Maxwell Lord before. Now, for those who don't know, Maxwell Lord he's sort of like a villain, right? Isn't he?
Yes, yes. You have to say
Yeah.
it started off as a benefactor of the a incarnation of Justice League, but look,
Oh.
he is a villain now.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I've always seen him as a villain.
So yeah, actually, very topical. He was introduced as part of the Keith Giffen Maguire Justice League run, and he just died
Got it.
recently.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's kind of yeah.
That's
So yeah, that's where Max. So he sponsored that version of in the comics. He was a
Gotcha.
sponsor.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Now James Gunn has come out to say, well, his own Max Lord is not going to be a bad guy. He's sort of going to be, in the middle, sort of an ambivalent type.
Okay.
I suppose he will be a little like, I don't know if you ever read Wildcats from
Mhm.
I think it was Wildstorm or,
Yeah.
or Image, where they have this character in it's not Gen 13. Yeah, it is Wildcats. This dude, the short guy, like he's a midget that smokes
Oh
a
yeah.
cigar
So I know who you're talking about.
that sends them on missions.
He's the head of Halo.
Yeah, he's the
Um.
head,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you're never quite
Marlo. Something Marlo. I
Is it
can't.
Marlowe? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I know who you're
So
talking about. Yeah. He's very short.
yeah,
Yes.
he's like
Yeah.
yeah, short person.
Yeah.
You're never
And
quite sure whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, like
so that is how Max Lord was originally when he first started.
conceived. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So yeah. So I think, and it makes sense for the beginning of a new DC universe to start him off that
yeah,
way,
yeah.
and then he might then go down his villainous arc
I
later on, or not,
suppose, I
or not.
suppose to an extent, Waller is kind of
I
like that
mean,
as well, because you can't say
it
Waller
does
is
exactly. I was going to mention
a villain.
Waller.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It
can't say
doesn't have
she's
to
a
be a
villain.
villain to. Yeah,
She
it does have
does.
to
She
be a
does.
villain to be an antagonist.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she does dodgy stuff, but she's not necessarily like who you'd come out outright and say she's a villain. Okay, so I don't know. Did they say what movie he's going to be Maxwell Lord, or is he just this is going to be Maxwell Lord in DCU?
I
I don't
don't
know if
think
it was in
I don't think it's
Legacy.
been mentioned, but
No,
I'm
no.
guessing we'll see him in what's it called? The first film.
Yeah, Legacy's already so stacked.
Legacy.
I don't know if he's going to
Yeah,
be.
but
I'm
it's
not
one.
sure we'll see him
He
in
might have
Legacies.
he might have a 2 minute scene. He might be a rival to Lex Luthor.
Okay,
Remember the big rival. I could see him being in it,
okay,
just to establish him in that universe.
okay.
Yeah. I
So
think we might have mentions of him in Legacy,
Yep.
but as for
yeah,
whether we are seeing him, I'm not sure.
yeah, yeah. So you guys know Sean Gunn, right?
Yes,
He's
we do.
he's is it
May we
Kriegel?
all
Kriegel, yeah.
can I say that? May we all have a very influential brother who can give us love roles. I love it. I actually love it, and more so because I don't mind Sean Conn himself in the characters he
Okay,
plays.
okay. Today, what are your thoughts, if you have got any?
I don't care. Like Max Lord is not one of the characters I'm saying, oh wow, I'm looking for the perfect casting for Max Lord. I honestly don't care. And Sean
Okay,
Conn is one of those actors where I think it's probably invisible to me. He plays roles where I don't
Yeah,
care
yeah.
about himself in particular. I just, okay, this is this particular character. I'm sure I'll probably have forgotten which characters he has played in the past if I don't go back to actually search for it. And maybe that's the kind of roles he plays. So it's like it's one of those nothing news basically.
yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it.
Okay, so you don't like it at all?
No, I don't. I
Okay,
don't. I don't.
and any particular reasons?
The man is an okay enough actor. He's
Yeah,
adequate. Which is the word I use for someone. I'm like, okay, it could have been done by someone else better. It could have been done by someone else worse. Doesn't make any difference. Somebody else could have played your character in the Reavers. Somebody else could have played. Honestly, somebody else could have motion captured for Rocket. Somebody else could have played Weasel in the
Rockets.
Suicide Squad. Yeah, he did some. He did motion capture for Rocket Raccoon.
I did not even do that.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't know that.
Um, and he did the voice work and motion capture work for Weasel
Yeah, yeah.
in the Suicide Squad, and he's going to do the voice for GI Robots. And so I'm just like, could be somebody else, could have been somebody else. I mean, it's a little bit more of the issue that I have with Nicholas Holt as Lex Luthor, the character I like a lot, an actor I like a lot, but I just don't see them meshing together. I feel that what James Gunn does is he has his people that he likes, and then he will identify an actor, and then he'll create a role for that actor, or he'll put that actor in. Oh, I've written these guys, and then I want you, and okay, you play, just play Superman. Like, he's someone that I don't know. I don't see, this guy doesn't look like Maxwell
I
Lord. He doesn't carry himself like someone who, it's almost like picking someone like, hang on a sec, like picking uh I'm trying to think of, okay, Michael Sarah now, and say that Michael Sarah should play Vandal Savage. It's just like, really, okay, you like this guy, but this isn't, honestly, Michael Rocker would even be a better Maxwell Lord, because he's someone who, he has gravitas, he has, he has carriage, but
Yeah. So
Sean
okay.
Gunn is this chinless dude
So so
who
so so this is
so
this is
I
has
this is
no
where I
gravitas
disagree
at all.
with you
It's
a
okay.
lot.
You are
I'm
fine.
going to ask you a question now. Like,
Go
which
ahead.
of the James Gunn's movie have you seen a character that was not casted well?
That was casted well.
That
not.
wasn't
That was, no,
because
no,
like
no, no. Oh, I can do that. Honestly, I'll be honest. Gamora wasn't cast well. Gamora wasn't depicted well, I would say. Let me not say
Hmm.
wasn't casted well, but Gamora does not give you the impression of the deadliest woman in the universe.
Okay.
I don't see how you're going to say that.
Okay. So I don't. Okay. Just to put
I don't
my
see how you're going to say that
just
comic book Gamora fits the character Gamora in this thing. Come on.
Yeah, the characterization doesn't, but I don't think
Come on.
that was due to the casting. That was
That's not casting. That's the
that's the story
Yeah,
writing.
and the
but she
direction.
doesn't. Yeah, but that woman does not look dangerous. She doesn't
Oh, she
act
does. Oh,
dangerous.
that
She
one,
doesn't.
I disagree. So
It's
sorry.
fine. You can, but she doesn't. She doesn't. She's
And for
too
me,
gelengele.
I, I guess for me the reason why I am okayish with the Sean Gunn posted casting is I'm now looking that he's going to be the Max Lord from JLI, which
Like,
and that is the way it was introduced.
yeah, the original one.
Yeah, and he was that was a comedic book, and he was a bit of a
Okay.
comedic character before he had this before he went,
Okay.
before he broke bad, as I say.
Okay.
That's
So,
use a phrase.
so why default to James Gunn or to Sean Gunn?
No, so James has said this a lot in terms of
Yeah,
casting. He
yeah,
writes the characters first of all. He knows the story he's meant to tell before picking the people to play the character. Because Baptista as this thing, Drax the Destroyer, it doesn't fit
yes.
the image of the comic books exactly.
Not at
But
all.
the character in
Not even
the
close.
character in the movie, yeah, the character in the movie is a completely different character. That I don't
Yes.
think anybody will complain about the portrayal or the casting there because it's a completely different version. So I think it's the same thing a
Okay.
bit with along with what
Okay.
that boy is saying. That it's not necessarily the same Max Lord we got in the comics or that we're thinking about that he's going to portray. He's going to portray a version of that here. And giving James Gunn's predilections with changing characterizations in stuff like this, it can be a wildly different person just bearing the same name
Mm,
for fan recognition. So
yeah.
I'm not particularly bothered about that.
It's honestly, it's just it does for me smack of nepotism. I'm like, yeah, this person is not a particularly superb actor like that. He's all right.
Are
If he
we
had picked,
against
if he had
nepotism?
picked, I think there are other people that could have been cast for that who would probably do a better job. I think Sean Gunn is just all right. He's adequate as an actor. I think David Dalmatian could have been a good choice. The guy who played Polka Dot Man. That's a very very good actor who has been in several comic book movies as well. So I don't know. I'm just not. I'm just not impressed
May we
with that
be
particular.
may we be adequately all right for a promotion? So amen.
Oh, listen, that's all you need in this life. Sometimes that's all you need in
Like
this
you
life.
Very,
complain
very
about
true.
nepotism favoring him, please. I don't
um,
want. I don't mind
I
as long
am
as it's
complaining
not.
about that. I am. Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
It could be better.
I
So
mean,
there
yeah.
is now this just happened recently where Zachary Levi made a comment in an interview where he said, I think he said, they asked him that if is he going to be appearing as somebody else in the DCU? You know, since he's been Shazam, is he going to be or Captain Marvel? Is he going to be somebody else? And he says, well, I don't have my brother is not the something along the lines of my brother is not
Oh God.
the president of the DCU. So something like that. He said. To be fair, I've heard the snippets. A lot of people are carrying it. Comicbook.com is carrying it. Comicbookmovie.com is carrying it. And they're literally putting it as a headline. Uh, but he didn't say it in a bad way. If you listen to the interview, he was actually laughing and he was like, he was like, "Hey, I'd love to come back. But my brother's not the president of of DC or DC Studios," and he just laughed it off. But it's true now.
But that's
But
genuinely funny. That's genuinely
it was
funny.
funny
That's a good joke.
the way he put it. It was but it was being splashed like something bad belaish, which I don't think it was. Okay, moving on from Maxwell Lord and nepotism in the DC studios. Uh, another piece of news happened this week from Image to Dark Horse, and this is Miller World. So Mark Millar, who is can I say he's a universe builder at Image. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I
Yes,
don't think
yes,
there is anybody else that has a connected universe like he
yes. But
does.
I don't like the word universe. Seems
Because
too
that's but
big.
But that's what he is. That's what he.
No,
That's what he has.
can we just say he's
Franchise, franchise.
a galaxy builder?
Okay.
Can we bring it down to galaxy
Okay.
builder?
Yes, yeah. He has a couple of the solar
Yeah.
systems put together. Okay, fine. Well, I think yeah, it's a he's so basically his catalog has moved from Image comic books to Dark Horse Comics. Now, Dark Horse is a significantly smaller uh, uh, publishing company or publisher that they I think they a lot of what they do is they're a little like Dynamite, but a lot of what they do is uh, they have a lot of pre-existing properties that they link up with, and they do comic books like they do. I think they do Masters of the Universe, The Witcher, Dark Horse, Usagi, Yojimbo,
Yep.
um, yeah, like Assassin's Apprentice. Like they have a couple of Hellboy, a couple of titles that they do in Dark Horse. So this is like a major coup for them. And what this
Mm.
means basically is going forward, anything that comes out of the Miller World catalog, any big game part 2 or whatever, this is all going to be under Dark Horse. Now, I don't know what this means for their Netflix deal though, because I know Miller World has a Netflix deal for any kind of live action or animated uh, um, iterations or adaptations of his work. Those will be on Netflix. So I don't know. I assume on Netflix it's just going to be instead of associated with Image comic books, it will be like associated with Dark Horse Comics, Miller World production, blah 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 blah. But the man is making money. To be fair, he's a very busy creator. What
Yeah.
what do you guys think about this?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know the mechanics involved in this, but it's Miller. I think Miller's he's a very shrewd businessman.
Yeah, exactly.
He creates he. I don't want to use the word hack because it's not a hack, but
He's not a hack. He's not a hack.
well, he's got the ability to
He's just a light. Yeah, he's a
create quickly and
exactly.
engaging
I get it
things.
out.
Yeah, and knock it out. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
6 arcs. There you go,
yeah,
done.
yeah,
He got
yeah,
the ability to do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
He
yeah, yeah,
and he's what's I guess the word that people use in marketing. He's marketed it to the extreme, and
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
got the maximum return from his ability of what he does. And I guess Netflix has been the beneficiary of this in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah,
they've minded easy to do them. They're moving it all to Dark Horse. I don't know what the deal involved in that is.
yeah,
Why Dark Horse is a better option than Mimage. I'm sure it's got to do
yeah.
some rights issue there.
I'm sure his back end, like he's probably
Uh,
getting more on the maybe on the dollar,
the cost, so
basically.
yeah,
Yeah,
possibly. And
yeah,
and there was a phrase in there that said that, and any network, no, Netflix material will also be now be published. So I didn't quite understand that. And someone tried to explain that maybe if you wanted to write a comic that was commissioned by Netflix, because Netflix could now commission him, create, and then might create a comic book of it, then it will have to come through Dark Horse as well, I
got
guess.
it, got
Yeah,
it,
'cause,
got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not the best when it comes
So
to these kind of business deals.
just to clarify a bit about the deal, Miller World, I mean, is owned by Netflix. They acquired it. What is changing is that the publisher is changing. So Netflix still owns the right to create content based on the Miller World universe. It's just the comic book publisher that will be changing from Image Comics to Dark Horse. Okay?
Okay. Yep, yep. Okay, fair enough. I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest, I'm quite happy for him because he's been busy for years. Um, he's been in the game. He's been Eisner nominated, won Eisner's, and he's still fairly young. I think he's like in his 50s or something, like maybe. So kudos to him. He's done he's done a. I think he has a Scottish title as well. But anyway, good job, Mark Millar. Congratulations. Now, my question is: are you guys going to be following him to Dark Horse? So I think next year they are slated for 4 or 5 new titles from Miller World coming out next year, including one links to Nemesis, again, your favorite character. So are you going to be reading those Mark Millar ones, or do you not even bother going
The question is, am I currently
to
reading
the
Macmillan
Dark
works?
Horse? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
I guess
Okay. Uh,
Macmillan is I have a strange relationship with him. I don't read all his
okay.
titles. I used to try to,
Okay.
but I've given up on that. I just pick the ones
Okay.
that sound very interesting to me. So it depends on what he's releasing. If the
Okay.
premise is interesting enough that I
Okay.
don't mind the story being short-handed, I'll read it. But if the concept is
Okay.
not interesting enough for me, like the big game one, I didn't like the concept, I'll
That
probably
was
skip.
that one was especially lazy. That one was
Yeah.
that one was very bad. It was very the concepts, the the groundwork, the concepts, the payoff. That was bad.
Everything was
That
not
was bad.
nah,
The
it wasn't the best read.
execution,
Yeah.
everything was bad. Yeah, 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 yeah. That is probably that's his worst. That's his worst work. That's Big Game is his worst work, in my opinion. That's bad. Ambassadors 2 is bad. But yeah, sorry,
Ambassadors
God.
was really bad. God, Ambassadors
Yeah,
was
Ambassadors
bad.
2 is bad.
How do you
Yeah.
take a concept like that and just write
Yeah,
humanoid
yeah,
talking
that's
about
what
ambassadors?
he's overly simplistic. That's always been his challenge. But yeah, he sometimes it pays to be a reliable creator. So although your work is not, sparkling, startling, blah 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 blah, but if you say, "Oh, I'm going to get this done in 6 weeks," or "I'm going to, get this done in 12 weeks," they know your 12 weeks is your 12 weeks. So as a creator, sometimes it's good to be reliable. I think that's what he has, and that's why he has like his following. So yeah, so congrats to Mark Millar, and we'll be seeing what he releases in Dark Horse. I think I've actually read everything he has in Miller World. Um,
Have you?
some of it is good. In Miller World, everything. I'm almost certain.
Oh, wow.
I'm almost
Okay.
certain I have. Yeah, they are
What's your
shorts.
favorite?
Hey, that is a good question. Um, that's a good
What's like,
question.
as in, what do you remember now, so
If I tell you what
without
I
even going to
remember,
go and look at it?
without even not looking at it, what do I remember? Okay, I
Yeah. What would you
remember. I
consider your
remember
favorite?
that. No, no, no. These are two different things you're asking me. I,
Okay.
I, I think my favorite is actually Jupiter's Legacy.
Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my
Okay,
favorite.
that's a good one.
It's
That's
my
a really
favorite.
good
It's
one,
my
yeah.
favorite. It's my favorite. But what jumps to mind is there was one that he did called Huck, which is about like a character who is like
The
a
Dumb Superman, yeah.
the dumb Superman. I don't know why I like that work. I don't. It doesn't explain anything. It doesn't. I just. I think I like the character. I like wholesome.
Yeah.
Corn-fed characters. So I think I like that character. But my favorite work of his that he's done is Jupiter's Legacy. Cause
Jupiter's Legacy.
yeah, because I like there was a lot of family dynamics there, including some family beef going on, squabbles with the kids that had been spoiled and overly indulged, overbearing parents, an indulgent mom, and then they went in turn to have their kids who they tried to show. So yeah. Just thinking about it now, because you just like you could have been so much more. But again, it always leaves you feeling like his work always leaves you feeling like you've eaten cotton candy.
Yeah.
Very true.
No, but I think I like
You?
Jupiter's Legacy for how simple it was because it allowed him to move through plot points very quickly. Like, and it brought that element of that shock factor. Like the moment
Yeah,
they
when they
killed
were
the
killed.
main character,
Yeah,
it
when
was
they were
like
killed.
the father in
Yeah, it
like
was
issue
shocked.
2
It
or
was
issue
surprising.
3. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
it was
wow,
surprising.
okay.
It was very early. It was very early.
I didn't expect that, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
they built it up and then give it a nice ending. But I think my
yeah.
favorite work from Miller World would be Kickers.
You are joking.
It would be Kickers. And it's
Wow.
purely
Okay.
because of the movie. It's purely because of the movie. That movie is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
so yeah, that's like I think. But
So
Jupiter's Legacy,
do you prefer the movie to the comic book?
obviously by far,
Why you say
by far,
obviously now? So
by
so that
far.
means that okay, it's your favorite work based off of Mark Millar work, but
Okay,
it's not your
is my
favorite Mark
okay?
Millar
Yeah,
comic book.
okay, yes, okay, that's true. Let me put it like that. Then
Okay.
Favorite Mark Millar comic book. I think I'll just go with the same thing with Jupiter's Legacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But if my favorite book based on Miller, it would be
Okay.
Kick-Ass.
It would be a kick-ass. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what
That
do you have a
one of you.
favorite
Yeah,
Mark
sorry,
Millar comic book?
I just realized what you guys were talking about.
Okay.
In terms of the comic itself, I think I don't think there's any competition for me. It's Jupiter's Legacy.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has to be.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass is a good call, and even Hit Girl, I do love those characters, but I think Jupiter edges it for me in terms of
Okay.
comics. Oh, sorry. There's one. Actually, I take it back.
You're
I've
gonna
just
say
realized.
Magic Circle?
No, not Magic Circle.
Okay.
Wanted. I think Wanted is better. I think Wanted. I totally forgot about that. I have to go with Wanted.
Jupiter Circle.
So you see, the same way I like Kick-Ass because of the movie, I don't
Yeah.
like Wanted because of the movie.
Oh wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
The movie
fair enough.
soured my entire impression of that particular book.
I did hate the movie. I
I
did hate
didn't
the
I,
like the
I,
movie.
movie.
I enjoyed the movie as well.
I thought it was
I
all right.
got no beef with the
I thought it
movie
was
at
all
all.
right. I thought it was all right. Okay, moving on to our comic book reviews for today. Now we've got one comic book and one graphic novel that we'd like to review. So, do we want to start with the comic book first, which is Birds of Prey? We start with that one first, or should I go with the graphic novel?
Let's do Better Pray, then you
Okay,
can wax
okay,
lyrical or
okay.
paint on the whichever one it's gonna
Okay.
be.
So the ongoing series, I think it's a limited series of Birds of Prey by Kelly Thompson. So she did. I think she's done Black Widow. She's done Captain Marvel. And who's the artist again? Who's the artist?
You can carry on. I'll
Okay,
talk
okay,
about where I do a
okay.
little.
I don't know who I don't know who the artist is. But yeah. So basically, in this comic book, we have Black Canary teaming up with Cassandra Cain, Zealot from Wildcats, Big Bada from New Genesis or Apocalypse, and Harley Quinn. So they're teaming up together to go to Themyscira to rescue. I think. Well, I say rescue. I say tongue in cheek. Sin, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Okay. They're going to rescue Sin, and why are they going to rescue Sin again? I can't remember.
There's a prophecy
Yeah.
that if she stays with the Amazons,
Yeah.
the world will end.
Okay. It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you find out who the artist is?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can
Today,
I
have
go?
you read this book, by the way?
Yeah, I read the first issue.
Oh,
Mm,
and
Not
it didn't hold your
impressed.
attention enough. Oh, okay. No interest. Okay.
Not impressed. Not no interest, but like the structure was nice. The way they go about recruiting the people
Okay.
was nice. But
Yeah.
like when you think about it so much, I'm like, why this set of people?
Okay. So
I
what?
get the
Let me
initial.
let me ask a sideways question.
So before you carry on, the artist is Leonardo Romero.
Romero. Yeah. Sorry. You're right. Yeah. No. Sorry. He did Hawkeye. He
Yeah,
did
yeah.
Hawkeye. Yeah.
So today,
Today, so
what do they
I
say
want to
now?
ask today. What? No. No. I want to ask today. What are you reading? Like,
Birds of Prey.
no. What are you reading? Like, what is it that you're looking forward to and reading? Like, oh, okay, I'm following this every week or every
Right
other
now,
week because I
it's
do know.
difficult.
Wait. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because I know you're not following Batman, Superman, The Flash, any of the Green Lanterns. Certainly not Titans. Nightwing, maybe. Not Birds of Prey. Very
Oh,
few
I'm reading Birds of.
Very few Marvel titles. What?
I've given up on X-Men after this
Yeah,
thing. I'm not
very
reading
few
any X-Men
titles. So
again
okay, so not
after
even
this thing.
Immortal X-Men.
Nothing more. I'm not nothing
Okay,
X-Men again.
okay,
I've
not
broken my
Immortal
relationship
X-Men.
with that
None
series.
of
Yeah.
this, none of the Spider-Man books. Are you reading Wonder Woman? Tom King's.
Yeah, I still follow that a bit. I'm not caught up on that.
Okay. Probably not reading Penguin either.
No, I'm not.
So apart from Nightwing, what are you reading?
So for the past few months,
And it doesn't have to
I've
be
got
either one of the
no,
big.
no, no. I've
Either one
gone
of
back.
the.
I've
Yeah.
gone back. I've gone back to the read classics. Like I'm finding it very difficult for the new book to hold my attention. So I'm
Okay.
just going back. Like I'm on this thing again, Ultimate Spider-Man. So I'm reading for
Ultimate
today.
Spider-Man. I can't read that book. That was well. When you say classics, it's certainly because that book is over 15
It's
years.
old. It's
Ah,
old and it's
even the
dated in
art
some
will even be
ways.
scratching my eyes.
Oh,
Like,
is it dated?
No, not dated. Like
it will be.
the
The,
artwork, basically, not the
the
story.
style, yeah, the
Okay,
style
okay.
is
The
dated.
style of
Yeah,
it,
the
yeah.
style is dated. And I find it's easier for me if I'm reading a classic. I'd rather read an 80s or 90s book than an early
You see,
2000s
that's the
book.
thing. I can't read an 80s or 90s book because
Really?
the art style, it's
It's
the
very
80s or
difficult.
90s. It's very
Yeah,
difficult for me.
yeah,
Like I can try and read
okay.
the big ones, the
The
crises,
Crisis,
the
the
because
Secret
the
Wars,
crisis, yeah, no, and
yeah.
not secret wars. I can't stand secret wars. Crisis
Jesus.
and John Bryan,
This guy.
Superman. I can't stand secret wars.
You're
No,
really a piece of shit, honestly.
not Hickman's on the original secret wars. No, I can't
I
stand
know
that
that.
book.
That's
I
what I'm
can't
talking
stand that
about.
art.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah,
the original one.
I can't stand that art. It's too bad.
That was the definitive art style for Marvel then.
Yep.
Like,
It's
Yep.
bad. It's
okay,
bad. It's really
okay.
bad. God.
Mike was it Mike Zeck? My mind saying Mike Zeck. This secret that's it goes.
Yeah. So
And
for
he was
his
a top guy.
time,
Yep.
and let me be clear before they come for me, for its time, it's probably one of the pinnacle of artwork there. But like the
Of
style we use in this day and age is so
It's very
completely
different.
different.
It's very different.
Yeah, like it feels I'm going way.
Yeah.
So the 2000s is still there's some similarities there.
Still
It's
some
like a
information.
progression
Yeah.
of what we know. Yeah, so it's like we are
Okay.
going, but I'm not a fan of that. So yeah. So
All
I'm
right.
also reading Invisible as well because of
Okay.
the TV show. I started
Okay.
reading it again and like just trying to catch up on some things there.
Okay.
So yeah,
All
I
right.
might next year see how I can commit back to comics, but it's difficult. I find it's very difficult right now
Okay.
for
Fair
comic
enough.
books more than really. I will talk about some maybe in a future episode where we talk about the state of comic books in 2023
Yeah.
and what's going on.
I will say there is some absolutely excellent banging shit out there, but it's not the
A
big
lot.
three.
It's not the big. Okay.
Yes,
Oh, I'll
but
mention a
there's some
book,
banging.
Shazam.
Okay, go on.
Shazam.
Yeah, it's good. Mark Wade. Yeah, Dan
Yeah,
Mora and Mark Wade. It's good. Yeah.
it's good.
Okay. But it's not consistent. It's maybe once a month or something. Okay, cool. Let's go back to. I just wanted to, yeah, because just felt like I was like, you're not reading this. You're not reading. Okay, what are you reading? Birds of
Yeah.
Prey. That one.
Yeah.
What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on this Birds of Prey comic?
I actually love it. This I'm not a big Black Canary fan. I can take it or leave it. But
Okay.
I love Big Barda.
I love Big Brother.
Yeah, she's one of my
I like Brother
favorite
a lot.
female
Yeah,
characters in
yeah.
DC. So having
And
her
she's
there,
like a straight man.
yeah, exactly.
To like, she's like,
Yeah,
she's like, oh,
and
little girl, little
yeah,
woman. What are you?
exactly. What you see is what you get with her. I just love her, and I would
Yeah,
love to see more of her.
yeah.
I've always liked Cassandra Cain and her style
Same,
of combat and the
same,
way
same.
it's depicted.
Yeah,
I'm not
same,
a big Harley Quinn fan.
same, same,
I
same,
love her in this
same.
book.
Yes, yes.
The way they write her hair
Yeah,
suits. I'm with it on board.
yeah, yeah.
Now one
Zealot.
character. Yes, Zelot. I've never been sure about Zelot whether I like her or not.
So I've not
And
liked Zealot,
okay,
even
you
in
say do you think?
Wildcats.
Yeah. So no, I've never really been sure about her as a character whether I liked or not. I've never made my mind up about her as a character, and even in this book, to be honest, I'm still
On the fence.
on the fence about her.
Yeah, yeah.
But the dynamics of all of them together, I absolutely love it. And am I forgetting one character? Am I forgetting the character now? I've got a feeling I'm forgetting. No, I've got
Did
them all.
you? Yeah, I think you got them all. Yeah,
Yeah, I've got them all. But together, and the writing of Kelly Thompson,
yeah.
I'm really enjoying this book. I like the fact that what they've done in this book is they've kind of established, and I like when comics do this, where they establish a ranking or hierarchy of heroes and how other people recognize their limits and who they can take and who they can't take. So when they're planning this visit, let's
Heist.
not put it a
Yeah.
visit or heist to Themyscira,
Them scare. Yeah.
they're very clear up front that their biggest problem is going to be Wonder Woman.
They're
And
almost like when she lands, we're
yes,
fucked. So,
yes, exactly. And their plan is we need to make sure we don't
yeah.
come up against her. That's the
Yeah.
best plan. And when you come against her, you go, well, all right, so who can take her? And it's not my take. I might be able to delay her for a few minutes, you know. And so I like that kind of. I like when people have that kind of discussions. That people, yeah, there should be a highlight. It's like me saying, it's like somebody
Yeah.
who wants to fight Muhammad Ali in the real world. You know, I can't take this guy. I might be able to take a few blows for 2 minutes while you guys escape. So
and for someone like Bada, who's a fury,
yes,
to humble herself and be like, on
yeah.
my best day, on my
Yes.
best day,
Exactly.
I might buy you a minute.
Yeah, and even Zilot, she goes. I mean, because I think Zilot can't take Wonder Woman, but she when it comes to other
Impossible.
Amazons, I think she's on that level or maybe even higher.
Yeah.
But then she has this pact with the
with the land.
Themyscirians that I won't harm you, you won't harm me and the land. So I just like how everything comes together. I also like the fact that the plans are not executed properly. So they make all these big plans, and unlike some comics where they put it off with minor hitches, it falls apart very quickly. And I like it. And the fact that they make me like, it's like a strong word. They make me comfortable with Harley Quinn. I think it's an achievement to this book.
Yeah.
And for once, they've pitched why you would hire Harley Quinn in a way that I could buy. That if somebody knew we were coming and they wanted to plan for us, she's the one element you couldn't plan for because we don't know what she's gonna do. She's a nut job.
Yeah.
And they kind of do it in a way where it's obvious. I mean, as you said earlier, she comes up with a plan to get them in. It's one of the most outlandish plans you can think of to get into Themyscira, but she pulls it off.
Yeah.
And when she's fighting, and when Cassandra Cain's fighting her, there's that instant that that when I fight her,
I can't predict you.
I struggle because I can't predict. There's some obvious move that you think she's gonna do next, and there's some visual thing she does to back that up. So I really enjoyed this book.
Yeah.
I won't lie, I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, no, you've said everything I like about the book. Everything I typically I like heist comic books anyway. I like heist movies. I like anything that has to do with getting a squad or a team together, recruiting the team. Telling me why each person is necessary for the for their skills or whatever it is that they're bringing to the table, and then the thing falling apart. And this is written. I think it's I think it's funny. I think it's written well. I think there is also there is a I know this is going to sound weird. There is a developing they're developing interpersonal relationships between the characters that are not based on machismo or I strong pass you or like would be in a crew of guys in a dirty dozen of all blokes. Like, I can shoot. Like, imagine if you got Deathstroke and Death Shots and together, and there will be I can outshoot you, or I can no. These ones are just like I like you.
It's funny. It's funny you should mention that because it's very very true what you described, and yet the one character that kind of does do a bit of Masachimo is the one character you expect to, which is Big Bada. Yeah, and I like the fact that when one of the reasons she went when they recruited this, the way she dealt with Batgirl, and the fact that Batgirl could take that punch and kind of like, I respect you,
exactly.
So I kind of like that. Yeah, but you're right. The relationships are built on. Please don't cancel me. A non-male way of how we would bond. Like who, none of that marine bullshit. Yeah, I mean, I like the way Cassandra Cain was an instant yes.
Yeah.
You know, where we're going, Sin, your daughter. There's no, your
I
sister,
mean,
rather.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
there was no debate, no argument. You know, and I also like when even Harley Quinn came and she was saying, "No, you guys are very disrespectful. You guys always disrespect me. I know you guys have
yeah.
very low
You guys.
opinion
Oh,
of me."
I really like that. Yeah. I
Yeah, so
really like that.
it's really. I mean,
You guys don't take me seriously. You know that whole, and I thought it was genuine, if that makes any
very.
sense. Because
It was very well written. It was very well
yeah,
written.
yeah.
I have
But
to apologize now
okay.
to Kelly Thompson. I've liked her writing now for quite a while
Oh
now,
my gosh. Okay.
and but I do remember being very harsh on her when her first book I read, which I think was Captain Marvel.
Okay.
When and I thought she was very
I like that.
like.
I like that Captain Marvel, by the way.
Are
Oh,
you
go
talking
on.
about?
Sorry.
No, I'm talking about the very first book when it was very woke, woman focused. This was the old Amy Earhart.
Okay.
Literally,
Okay.
I'm talking about must be about 6 years ago now, 7 years ago now. I need to go and check. But I remember thinking, oh god, she's just one of these, new age woman. I did not like that first arc. But ever since then, she's
Are
constantly.
you
Yeah.
confusing Kelly Thompson and Kelly Sue DeConnick?
Oh
They are two different
no, no,
people.
no! You know what? I am. No, sorry, I am. Now that you call that full name, that's the one who did. Yeah, that's sorry. Okay, Kelly Thompson. I'm not apologizing. I'm not apologizing. I've always liked you from the beginning.
Taking it back.
I'll take it back. I just realized it was Sudim. Yeah, you're right. It was Kelly Sudimanic who did that. Thank you. Sorry, my confusion ended because I was reading this. I'm thinking this guy's really good. I can't believe I used to
Oh
slag
my
her off.
days.
Yeah, when you get to my age, you mix all these names up together.
Yeah, but I like Kelly Sue as well. I like the Captain Marvel, so there's stuff we can argue about it another time, but I like that a lot.
I did like.
I think
Go
Wale
on.
liked her. I think Wale liked her Captain Marvel
Yeah,
as well.
he
Yeah,
did.
I think
it was really good.
I
It
think
was a really good book.
and I wasn't.
Yeah. But you guys, the way you've been talking about this book, I'll probably give this a second read. I was probably very angry when I read this book the first time because what you're describing,
can
it
imagine.
doesn't jive with my memory or my experience reading this book. I left that book feeling down, like annoyed. Why is this woman here, Harley Quinn here? The like when she came and she started explaining her story and they were giving excuses, I didn't like it at all. Like it sounded trite and you don't bring and maybe it's the orderly I would say I'm the most orderly person in planning, but like the idea of always introducing a random element to make up your plans as you go, it feels completely stupid to me. Because
Yeah,
as
but
much
the
as
thing is,
it will scatter the opponent, but it will also scatter your own plans. So I'm
yeah, but
like,
the thing is, you are. I think you're looking at it through a very serious lens. It is a slightly
maybe.
comedic book, So if you look at it like that and the interactions, it's don't read it the way you would expect to read a Batman book. Just it's
I
a limited run.
yeah.
Just okay. Let me see how it goes. It's just the same way.
Yeah.
It's you know what? It's like reading. It's like reading Mark Wade's books. Like if you're reading Shazam or that Batman Superman book or his Daredevil that he did like it's quite a few years
Yeah,
back now. There's always a tinge of humor running through or lightheartedness. That's the word I'm
and
looking for.
what I would say to Tunde is most of the characters in the book felt the same way about Harley Quinn and adding her the way you did. The only person who went to bat for her was only one character. So in a
Hmm.
way, your point of view was echoed by at least three of the other characters. That why on
Okay.
earth would we have on this nut job on our? And I think
Yeah.
it was only Cassandra who made a case for adding her to the team.
Okay. I think Kex has a good point with the lightheartedness with I should take it through because I came in expecting a serious book like oh man, that is missing. This is going to be a serious heist book. But now that
It's
you
like
mentioned that light-heartedness feeling and comparing it to McQuaid's Batman
Mm.
Superman,
yeah.
I will probably give them that go. One thing
Yeah,
I
try it.
liked, yeah, I'll give them that go. One thing I liked is when they asked her why don't you just tell Wonder Woman to help you, which seems like a very obvious solution.
Yes.
And she goes, if I tell her and for some reason she disagrees, that's the end.
It's a bit over.
Yeah. Like, I'm not
End of
sure I
story.
100% agree with that logic, but I can get the element of I'm trying to control my faith and I don't have enough faith, or is it faith or trust, to
Nah.
100% to hundred
It,
percent guarantee to 100% put the choice in somebody else's hands when I need to do it, like when it's something that affects me personally.
Yeah.
it's the whole when we were young, and I guess my kids would say something is
Permission, and
yeah, exactly, spot on.
forgiveness.
Forgiveness and
Yeah.
permission. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's
Uh.
interesting, and I hope I see I think that's interesting, and I hope there's a fallout in their relationship because of that decision, because it's the kind of thing you take in real life that you cannot walk back so easily,
Yeah. Of
like
course.
that.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when you choose to betray trust in that kind of manner, say it, I'd rather
Uh,
break into your house than tell you
I actually,
because
sorry,
I don't
I actually
trust you
no,
to.
I totally disagree. In
Really?
that kind of yes. So let's say, I mean, I want to break into Wonder Woman's land and do something, and yes, I had the option to ask her, but I never told her, and she said no. I put on alert, and it makes my mission more harder. And what's at stake for me is too much for me to risk asking her, so I go ahead and do it. Now she finds out.
No,
When I
but it
tell her,
shows the limits. It shows the limits of your trust in the person.
no,
That's where
no,
I'm
no,
coming from.
no, it's not a
Like
matter. Of,
you don't trust this person to do the right thing.
no, but because what you're
That's why
saying,
you don't
but no,
ask
no,
her.
no, 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 no. Sometimes it's not doing the right thing. It's her believing what you said. Because remember, I don't know if you remember the story. They had a prophecy of why this doesn't work. It's like somebody, so it's not like they had any evidence or anything like that or at all. What they had was a belief in a philosophy. Sorry, no, a prophecy. So
No, that it's
so
still like
one
that,
of
but it
them
still
easily
boils
said,
down to the same thing that I do not trust my friends to believe me. And no matter
yeah,
what, no matter how
no.
no matter how it falls out,
No, it boils down to the fact that I do not trust my friends to have the same faith in something that even I know is dodgy. Even they know it's a prophecy. They know they're taking a gamble.
yeah. Look,
It-
so
it- okay,
this is
okay,
where I'm
okay.
coming from.
To,
This is where I'm
to the,
coming from.
to
Like
the,
you
but,
believe something enough to do. You believe something
yes,
enough
yeah,
to go to the extremes to do it.
yeah,
Right? Like you are ready to burn down the whole world to do
yeah,
this
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
but you do not believe it enough to trust your friend that okay, my friend will understand that I'm saying this in this very serious manner and take appropriate actions alongside. So, like, I get where you're coming from, but if it happens, it's still going to affect the relationship in regardless.
yeah. I don't think so.
Okay.
If my friend did something, let's say my friend didn't want to tell me something, but he was desperate, and he knew that if he didn't want to risk the option of me saying no, and he went ahead and did it, and then and after the fact, he explained to me. I might still say, yeah, you come to me, but I get why you did it. I don't think it will damage, especially if we're close anyway. I kind of get it, if I'm being honest, and especially in the world of superheroes, where everything is a bit, you can't prove stuff. It's somebody's word. And it's not their word. It's not my word. It's somebody else's word that I've taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Should we? Do you want to rate this one, or should
I
we?
actually I want to rate it. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Then.
I'm going to give it a 4/5, which is very high for me.
Yeah.
Four over five.
I think it's about the same for me. I'll give it a four.
Okay.
Give it a four.
I
Yeah.
would not
Very
read
good.
this book because I'm committing to go and
Of
reread it.
course. Yeah. No. 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 Fair. That's
Yeah.
fair
So
as well.
how many issues did you read? Did you read all the three
I,
before, or how many have you read
No,
before?
he
no,
just
that's the
stopped at
first
the
issue.
first.
Okay,
I don't
okay,
like this way I stopped there. So I'll go and
okay.
reread this book again and come back with my rating. Because what you're describing is almost a completely different book and perspective than what I read.
All right. Try it. Okay. Moving on now to Nimona. Um, Now last week I had promised I was going to watch this animated movie on Netflix, which was released this year. I think it was about summerish that was released. And I've been seeing it, but I was like, I'll get around to it at some point. I don't know how I came across news that it was based on a graphic novel. So, like, okay, this is relevant to the podcast and okay, piqued my interest a little bit more. So I watched this weekend, and then I read the graphic novel as well. So I want to give a short review. Um, the movie stars voice talent by Chloe Grace Moretz
Huh?
as the titular character. Yeah, Chloe Grace.
What?
It's
His
animated.
girl.
Yes. Yeah, hit go. Yeah,
I, I,
yeah.
I mean, I mean,
Okay.
please carry on. Please carry on.
I say when yeah. So she, so she voices Nimona. Riz Ahmed voices Blackheart, who is the other main character.
So who?
Now,
who? What name did you say?
Riz Ahmed, he's a British actor. He was in The Night of, and there was this drumming movie that he was in as well. Very good film where he
The
was
name sounds
deaf.
familiar. Oh,
He
right.
was in Venom. He was in
Yeah,
Venom.
I've just
Okay.
googled him. Yeah, he
Okay.
was
Yeah.
he was a boss in Venom.
Yeah. He was. Yeah. He
Yeah,
became Riot or
yeah.
whoever the other symbiote
Right.
was.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so those are the two main voice talents, and there's a couple of other people, but they're nobody as big as those two. Um, it's set in a world of can I say I don't want to say conflicting anachronisms, but how would I? They are not okay. So it's a world that has knights and knights with swords and armor and horses, but it also has cell phones and subways and
Really?
and castles and big screens and yeah it's
Okay.
and flying cars, and it's quite interesting. um so it's and that's the same world that it's set in the comic book as well, so the graphic novel as well. So you've got in Riz Ahmed plays a Blackheart, who is a commoner who becomes who gets taken by the queen. I think he saves someone, and then he gets taken by the queen to train as a knight from a young age. And then the day of his knighthood, where he was supposed to be, inducted into knighthood and made a knight officially, the queen presents him with his sword. And as she does that, the sword becomes a laser and then blasts the queen through the chest. And then basically everybody now sees him as a villain, and then he has to escape basically. And he's wanted for murder of the queen. Nimona is a girl. I want to say maybe 14, 15-year old um, teenager, uh, pink hair. But what's really special about her is she has magic power. She can change into any animal. The only caveat is the animal is pink. She can change into
Right. Okay.
dragons, like including animals who, where the mass doesn't translate. So she can become a whale. And by whale, I mean a huge whale. She can become a tiny mouse. She can become so that's her ability.
Okay.
Um,
So
and then
she's a bit like Gaff, Beast Boy.
you know what? She's Beast Boy. She's
Okay.
Beast Boy, but she's a girl version of Beast Boy. That's
Got
exactly
you.
what she is.
Okay.
Now, one other thing that makes her quite interesting is that she wants to be a villain. So
She
she
wants to be a
she
villain.
finds Riz Ahmed. She wants to be a villain. So she's
Right.
like very
Okay.
metal. She's very rock. I think she's got her ears pierced at the top.
Okay.
She's like a punk rock chick. And she's like really like crazy about this Blackheart character that is played by Riz Ahmed. And she's like, look, I want to be your sidekick. Please, let's go blow shit up. Let's go do this. And it's a funny movie. And it's I think it's major themes. I would say is about what kind of people accepting differences. Now, in
Okay.
the movie, Riz Ahmed's character Blackheart is gay, and they don't make anything of it. So let me just put that out there now.
Okay.
His lover is actually the head of the palace guards, who they
Right.
were in night school together, and who's a fellow bloke as well.
Okay.
It is completely accepted, completely normal, nothing odd about it. But
Okay.
the whole city is the reason why Nimona wants to be a villain is because every time she's exposed herself to someone as having powers, she's supposed to be much, 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 much older than she actually is. Every time she's done that, she's been betrayed by someone. And by betrayed, it's like they turn on her that she's a monster.
Right. Okay.
So when she was a child, she exposed herself to, like, she showed her
Show powers.
powers,
Okay.
yeah, to the
I'm gonna say,
villagers.
please.
Yeah.
yeah.
No. She showed her powers to the villagers, and she was run out of the village.
So I
And
take it in this world, even in this fantastic world, her
everyone is
powers
human.
are not usual.
Unique, entirely unique. She's the only one of her type.
Okay, got you.
Yes, she's the only one of her type. Nobody knows that she exists. Basically,
Okay.
now there is a prophecy in the town, in the city village, that a great evil is going to come one day, and then the knights are going to have to rise up against that evil, and that is because back in the day, centuries ago, when she showed herself to the village that, I can change and I can morph and stuff, they ran her out of town. So she's supposed to be the great evil that comes back later on, and
Right,
the knights
okay.
have been preparing themselves, for it. So a lot of stuff happens along the way, but to cut a long story short, it's a feel good, happy, no musicals,
Oh, good. That's
animated
good.
movie.
Yeah.
About an hour 40 minutes. The animation style is lovely. The art style is I'm trying to think, what is it reminiscent of?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
What's
go on.
better, the movie or the comic?
The graphic novel is quite different.
Very different.
She still has the powers.
Yeah.
She still has the powers. She still wants to be a sidekick. But
Yeah.
in this one, the bad guy is actually a bad guy. There is no.
Okay.
The bad guy is actually a villain, but he's a villain with rules. I don't kill, but I'm a bad guy. I don't kill. I rob banks. I do this. I cause
So,
mischief.
the reason why I'm asking is it worth my? Would you recommend me reading the
Yes,
comic before or
I would.
watching the movie first?
Movie first, then comic book,
Okay.
because the graphic novel is quite
Okay.
long. It's about 270 plus
Oh wow. Okay.
pages.
Okay.
Yeah, so it
Okay.
is quite long, but it's funny. The
I
the
have a
art is
question.
even. Yeah, go on. Sure.
Yeah. Is this an Oscar winning movie?
No. No.
Okay.
Sorry, why did you ask that? If I may ask today,
What?
why did you ask that question?
No, like some people were nominating Oscar
Okay,
award-winning movies at the beginning of the
okay.
year.
I'll
I just
put
want
that
to
back.
compare
Okay.
how this compares to those ones
I
that
was
you
guessing
mentioned.
that was the reason you asked. Okay,
No.
fine.
Yeah.
Do you know I just got what you mean now? Are you talking about
Yeah.
Mario? No.
Yeah.
I had a feeling
No.
that's why he made that comment.
It might get for maybe voice. No, to be honest, it's streaming. It was never. I don't think it was ever
Actually,
released in cinemas. So I
to
think
be
it went
to
before. Yeah,
a bit more seriously, it was nominated for the Golden Globes today.
it was. It was
Yes, it was nominated for the Golden Globes
okay.
for animation. Yeah. So,
Okay. I feel
but
vindicated.
in terms of animations we've seen this year, where do you rank this?
Oh, oh, top five, and that's because, in no particular order. For me, this year was Blue Eye Samurai. For me, was Blue Eye Samurai this year in terms of animation. Um, I will put no. That's just for me because the subject matter, the setting. I like samurai stuff. It was
It
set in
was
feudal
FT.
Japan. It wasn't hefty. I don't even think it was. I thought the action was
Sorry,
brilliant.
are you including things like across the Spider Verse in this list?
I said top five now.
Yeah.
I have, yeah. I'm counting.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
counting. Yeah. Um, Across the Spider Verse. Like I said, in no particular order, right?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
Across
fair
the
enough.
Spider Verse. Um, I'm going to also put in, and this one is because of the voice acting and the music, and not even necessarily because of the animation itself, and that's Invincible. The
Okay.
animation,
Okay.
they take
Yeah.
shortcuts. They take shortcuts in the animation. And then I want to put What If, even though I haven't watched it yet, but I'm preempting it and I'm putting What If there.
Yeah, you're jumping. You're jumping.
I'm
As they do.
jumping. I am, and then I'll put Nimona there. I'll put the
Okay.
the the animation is good. It's really good. Like visually, the style is very nice. It's very
What
nice.
year
And the
was
voice acting is
Pantheon?
very good. Oh, Pantheon season 2 was this year. Pantheon season 1 might have been last year. I'm
Okay.
almost certain it was last year, or even a year before, because it was cancelled, right? And so, in order for someone to pick it up and then perhaps produce and then release it, at
Okay.
least last year. I haven't seen season 2 of Pantheon, by the way.
No, I haven't either.
Oh,
It's
okay.
out apparently in
It is,
Australia.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
Australia. It's got 7 seas. I've just not found the time to sit down, relax, because I feel like it's not one of those ones that you rush. You have to,
Yeah.
But yeah, I will give this movie, Nimona, I would give it a 3.4, which is almost a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's pretty good then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It could have been funnier. It could have hit a bit more. I think it could have been a bit more poignant and sappy. But all in all, it was good enough. The voice acting was good. The animation was good. So yeah, I'll give it a 3.4. The graphic novel, I would give that a 3.5 or maybe even a 3.6. I enjoyed it. The style, the art style, you might not like it. It's very cartoony because the creator is actually a cartoonist. And by cartoonist, I mean like it's like
Well,
like
I think at the moment I'm preparing myself then because I'm
yeah.
I'm watching Scott Pilgrim, and that's very cartoonish.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's like that. It's not like
Okay.
comic book art. It's almost like cartoon art. So you just prepare yourself for it. But just it's funny. It's genuinely quite amusing. So I would give that a bit higher. So maybe like a 3.7 for me.
Okay.
So Nimona, watch or read if you find the time. The book is quite thick. It's about 200 plus pages. So yeah, that's it for me. Anything else that anybody wants to talk about today?
Well, not today, but today I saw some online slander against a certain Green Lantern that is my
Against who?
favorite. No, we'll talk about that. Who I don't want to mention the names because I don't want to. Because I know you. I don't want to
Are
give
you
you a chance to bash
Are you
this
afraid?
person. I'm not afraid. I know how you operate, so I want to keep this not fair. So next week we're going to be talking about. We're going to be rating and ranking
Okay.
all the. Well, not all the Green Lanterns, all the ones from Earth. I take it. We're not doing anybody
Yeah,
else, are we?
Section 2814. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to be looking at all the
The
human
main ones.
Green Lanterns.
Wait. Is Joe 2814? Today.
Yes, she's human.
She's not 2814.
No.
She did not cover Sector 2814, which is why I said human Green Lanterns.
Okay. All right. That's why I asked.
Yeah,
I don't think she covers our sector, but she is human.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about why a certain Green Lantern is the worst Green Lantern next week,
Yes.
right,
Yes.
Gex?
And his haircut is absolutely shit as well.
Atrocious, like yeah.
I'm glad you're talking about how you're done that way.
We're not mentioning names. We're not mentioning names.
So who are we talking about next week? We're going to be talking about that ranking and defending those rankings for Alan Scott, John Stewart,
yes,
Hal Jordan,
yes,
Kyle Rayner, Guy
yes,
Gardner,
yes,
Jessica Cruz,
correct. Simon Bass,
Joe Mullen, Simon Baz. Thank you.
Yeah.
I knew there was someone I was forgetting.
And there was one lantern. I can't remember her name. The kid with the glove.
Okay, yeah. Is it fair to rate her?
I'm black. Oh, it might not be because we've only seen very
fresh.
little of her. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Automatic last, basically.
Let's put her on the bench because I actually think I think I might like. I think I might like her.
No, I do like her.
Even a little bit of Lunella. Is it Lunella? Yeah.
What? Moon
Girl. Yeah. I don't know what demeanor. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just something nice kid. Okay, so we're going to be ranking those guys on the podcast using data and numbers.
Yes.
By data, I mean we're going to give them effective ranks, and then we're going to tabulate this and then get a ranking.
And so let's put the cat on the table right now. I don't want people turning up. Next week we had agendas. and then we're giving scores of -10 just to bring down someone's score. This has to be done very scientifically and not the normal corrupt manner that some people engage in when we're trying to do this kind of ratings.
But that one, if someone actually if one of these people actually deserve a -10,
It's the person that got punched out by Batman. Oh my gosh. Shit haircut, shit uniform, got knocked out by Batman. I mean, come on.
He's the
I
best
mean,
of the lot. The
Got
best of the
creamed
lot.
by Doomsday. Got
He did.
dumped by Ice.
At least
Only you.
let me
how about
Nobody.
this guy, Chance? What about the Chance? This
let me
comic that
think.
we were reading
Let,
from
let,
Tom
me- let,
King, that the
let
guy
me
beat
think.
him.
This person did not kill half of the Green Lanterns. This person did not destroy
That's
a whole
how much of
planet.
a badass that one is now.
This one did not commit genocide
That
and
one
wipe
is
out
a
a whole
badass. That's what.
planet. No, okay, we will see. We'll go
That's
there.
badass stuff, man.
We'll
Okay.
go there.
So, and then after that, I want us to also put up, if we can, a poll on our Naija's Geeking Out after we finish the podcast, so our listeners can rate as well.
What do you want the poll to go up now, before next week,
Well, let
or
it go up
after?
now so we can add that to the tab to the scores we are doing.
Okay.
So
Okay,
Cool.
I'll do that.
Please,
No.
guys, share
your honest opinions.
your honest opinions and share the poll around. Distribute
Okay.
it randomly. So let's see. Alrighty then. Okay, so that's for next week, episode 163, that we're going to be rating the Green Lanterns.
Excellent.
Right. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Remember to rate, like, subscribe, Naija's Geeking Out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. See you next week. Today,
Okay, bye guys. See you next week.
that one.
And it's a goodbye from me. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you later. Gaigana.
Joroki there.
Laters.
Hmm.